Hello everybody and welcome to a special deck tech and gameplay video, kind of outside of everything that I've done before. Today we are here to talk about a deck that I have built for Falcon that I have a lot of faith in, that I think is built on stable ground. It just needs some help. At the same time, maybe it's going to be just really well performing, and it just needs to have like the right scenario. That said, the scenario that we'll be taking this up against later on is going to be Ronan the Accuser. We're just going to go completely balls to the walls. I want to put my money where my mouth is, and we're just going to see how it goes up against Ronan, just to put some spice into the world. So this deck I've referred to as Falcon of Insight. It's taking a little bit of a nod from a Magic the Gathering deck called Lantern of Insight, which Lantern control. And the central idea of that deck was that in competitive Magic, if you just make it so that your opponent never has gas on top of their deck, because the card in itself allows you to look at the top card of the both players play with the top card of their decks revealed, and I think you can do something else beyond that. I've never played the deck. I've watched it played plenty of times, but I'm not going to pretend to know it backwards and forwards. But it is just basically a deck that hyper controls and basically goes for the idea that we're just going to play the longest game possible. And while I don't want to necessarily do that with Falcon, I do think that there is the option for that because we have the ability to see the top card of the deck, and we have the ability to play an aerial card and discard the top card of the encounter deck to really pick and choose what we're going to be doing. Now, for Falcon and just his kit, we have not that one. We have things like Birds of Prey, which allows you to discard the top card of the deck to deal more damage. I'm getting cards crossed up here. We have Bird's Eye View to do the exact same thing, but for thwarting the main scheme. And then the other card that really comes to mind for all this is Battlefield Awareness, which basically does what Probability Field for Domino does. Once per turn, you can just bump up your stats when you do a basic power, so thwarting, attacking, defending, and that's going to be really helpful. But the real place where I'm hoping this is going to shine is with Red Wing, where we will be able to return Red Wing to our hand and deal damage or remove threat equal to the number of boost icons. If we're looking at big boost icons, we can remove a lot of stuff. We can drop them down, remove 3, deal 3 damage to what have you. Sometimes you'll be doing 1, sometimes you'll be doing 2. But my hope is that just this small package of Red Wing and Falcon's ability plus the Eagle-Eyed ability is going to just pay dividends. How we are going to do that is by just pushing a lot of aerial cards. So for this deck, I've got a lot of aerial cards. I've got, for just allies, we've got Arrow, we've got Hugin and Munnin, we've got Falcon, we've got Spider-Man 2099, we've got Cannonball, we've got Spectrum, Cloud9, and Vivian. Now, a lot of that was real fast, but the important thing here is that they all have aerial. And because we have all these aerial, we have Strength of Diversity additionally in the deck, which is just an event that looks at how many different traits your friendly characters have. For each of them, you remove 1 threat or deal 1 damage. Well, the good news here is that with all these allies, we've got Aerial, Android, and Champion. We've got Aerial and Avenger. We've got Aerial and Web Warrior. Aerial, Asgard, and Bird. We've got Aerial and Champion again. Aerial and X-Force. Champion again. We are very champion heavy. And then we add the Atlas trait. Not to mention the fact that we once again have Avenger and Bird and Aerial and Avenger. All that to say that should mean that the combination of all these for Strength of Diversity, hopefully we can hit, average of 4 to 6 different traits on our cards at once, and that will allow for this card to really shine. In single player, I have a lot of faith in this card. As long as you are building out and you fill up the board enough, you should be able to use this to a great effect. In multiplayer, I think the cost here of being per player does make it a little bit more difficult to pull off, but I think that you're going to have more options to have more traits out there. And it suddenly takes these traits that we haven't cared about and makes them really important. And thusly, I think it's going to be really great. I think that's going to be very effective. And I should also go without saying that every time we play an aerial card, we have the ability to take the top card of the encounter deck and put it into the discard pile, so we can be very picky and choosy, and hopefully that also means that we can make Red Wing as effective as possible. We can just sit there and fish for a really good 2 or 3 boost icons, depending on the severity of the scenario. 2 shouldn't be very hard. 3, I think, is possible. It's just you're going to be at a different caliber of encounter set for that. So, hopefully that means that Red Wing is going to be able to match the power level of the encounter that we are currently doing. To support all of this, we also have some Aerials Matter stuff. We've got 2 copies of Flying Formation, which is just another Alliance card. It's a little expensive for 4. Only have 2 of them, but ready up to 3 aerial characters you control. This means that we can both use Red Wing to deal damage, to thwart, and also do his ability. All the other allies we have, Falcon, we can ready them up. This is kind of a break in case of emergency kind of card. I don't expect it to do a whole lot because it is expensive. There's no way of getting around it. In single player, it's expensive. In multiplayer, this may be a lot more possible just because you'll be able to have other players help you. You can probably help out other players. Either way, I think that this is a card that is probably one that could be easily replaced, but I'm trying it out right now because I do think that it will be a good final push card. Maybe not one that I want to keep in an opening hand. We'll see. And then we've got 3 copies of Aerial Supremacy, a aerial event, again important. Actually, that's important to also point out. Flying Formation is also aerial, so we do get that Eagle Eye to trigger. But Air Supremacy, choose up to X enemies, where X is the number of aerial characters you control. Deal 3 damage to each of the chosen enemies. My hope is that this will also be one of those cards that's just live a lot. It reminds me of the Nick Fury event, Sprayfire is the name of the card. That's just able to deal 3 damage to multiple places. In my mind, this is the aerial equivalent of that. Again, it allows you to shuffle through the encounter deck even faster while also dealing damage. If there's only the villain in play, we might be a little SOL on that, but at the same time, I have faith that this could very well be a very good card, especially in this deck. And it's a card that I haven't seen a lot of, and I think it's just because, one, I don't play a lot of aerial decks, but I think that also it just hasn't been appealing yet because we haven't had a great aerial enabler, and my hope is that the Eagle Eye ability becomes that incentive to really make aerial kind of go over the top. Lastly, well, I suppose there's a couple more cards, but lastly, in terms of just what's important to this deck, we've got, right there. Okay, we've got, we'll go this one at a time. I don't know what. We've got Team Training, which is just going to give each of our allies +1 hit points. We've got the Triskelion, which is just going to push up our aerial limit, allow us to get out more aerial characters and keep them around. And then we've got the new card, Flying Squadron, which play only if you have the aerial identity, max 1 team per player. If each of your allies has the aerial trait, increase your ally limit by 1, so that's going to push us up by 2 if we have both the Triskelion and the Flight Squadron out. And this gains, after you play an aerial card, exhaust this card, ready an ally you control. Again, this makes it so that Red Wing can make an attack, and then you can ready him back up, and then you can exhaust to do his thing. And then Red Wing, I think, is one of the most important cards to the deck, so anything we can do to enable him is going to be good. Rounding out the deck, we've got 1 copy of Quinn Carrier just to be an extra resource for us. Then we've got 2 copies of Power of Flight to just double the number of resources generated for aerial cards. 1 card gets a Red Wing out. We've got 1 copy of Innovation, and we've got 2 copies of the Power of Leadership. And then we've just got, Falcon's kit. But yeah, I have a lot of faith in this deck. I want it to be good. I don't think this is the final form of it. I think that there is probably improvements to be made. At this point, we're already through the shield wave, so it's not like we can hold out hope for another shield card that's going to make a difference, or another card out of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. wave. But yeah, my hope is that this is going to be a good card. Either way, let's go to the gameplay, and let's make a fun day of this. We're going up against Ronan the Accuser, and we've got this nice altar that was provided to me by local SDX. And of course, it's not going to focus right. Let me see if I do this. Nope, it's not going to focus right. Okay, either way. But yes, it's a nice chibi yard. And yes, so we've got the Kree Command ship. It's going to be giving us an additional encounter card every turn. We can exhaust the Milano, which is down here creating a resource. We can spend a resource, exhaust this, and prevent the one reveal effects on a treachery. We've got the universal weapon, which just gives Ronan a +1/+1 to both of his stats. And then gives him Stalwart. We can deal ourselves 2 damage and give ourselves a face down encounter card, which we will know. And then we can give that card to ourselves, shuffle this into the deck, get rid of it. I think that's everything for this. So we put the Kree Command ship in play. We got the Milano in play. Universal weapon. Power Stone is with us. Power Stone, for anyone who doesn't know, is when the hero or villain is dealt 3 or more damage, or when 3 or more damage is dealt by a hero or villain, this moves over after everything. And that should be everything there. So let's just put the 2 threat there. And yeah, let's get to this. So Sam Wilson has 3 recovery, 6 hand size, 10 hit points, and I can discard a card to search my deck for a bird card and add it to my hand. That mainly being Red Wing. And then on the other side, he allows us to look at the top card of the encounter deck, and we do top deck shenanigans and all that stuff, which is kind of the root of the entire deck. But let's go look at our opening hand. So I already see things I like here. And I think it would be a good idea if we were a little bit of a aggressively going for Red Wing, because Red Wing is going to be doing a lot of good work for us, although I don't know that we need to be completely dependent on that. Okay, so what does this do again? Enters, search the top card, put it into play, engage with you, ready, 1 for each icon. Okay, so that would not be the worst thing in the world. Arrow's good. I actually like a lot of these cards. Flying Formation, Alliance, ready up to 3 aerial heroes. So that's a little expensive right off the bat. I don't think that's going to work out for our first turn. I do think that okay. So unfortunately, I don't know we're going to go for Red Wing. I will freely admit Red Wing is maybe one of the best cards in the entire deck. But I feel like if we're just putting everything onto Red Wing, this might not be a successful attempt. And we need to be on our best. So let's flip this over. And yes, so during the player phase, play with the top card of the encounter deck face up. And after you play an aerial card, you can choose to discard at the top of the encounter deck. So we've got a Kree Private, so the quick strike with 2 icons on it for our purposes. Let's go with Breaking the Tough. Then, do I want... I think I want Battlefield Awareness over Bird of Prey. So, when Falcon uses a basic power, which we've already done, but at the same time... Actually, no, we were still getting use out of this. When Falcon uses a basic power, exhausts Battlefield Awareness, and discard the top card of the deck, he gets +1 to that power for each icon in that discarded boost area. I think we want to toss this... Another 2. Okay, so I forgot I had this. Does that change anything? I don't think it does. Actually, you know what? I will keep Bird of Prey. I might carry that over into the next turn. All right, so then we play out Huggin' and Muggin'. I'm going to discard this. Look at the top. Search the top 10 cards. Put it in play, engage with you. Okay, so I suspected this, and I just looked up the rules. When you search any portion of the deck, it's implicit that at the end of the search you shuffle anyway. So okay, I kind of thought that. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so put engage with you, ready for each icon. All right, so patrol or guard. Obviously, this would be better later in the game. I'm gonna grab this patrol minion just because I feel like I will get a fine amount of use out of all of this. So and honestly, not being able to thwart the main scheme obviously has its setbacks, but it's actually, I think, less impactful than guard in this scenario. Okay, so that's a 0. I will choose to use the response to get rid of that. Cut the power. Okay, so I do get to ready up Falcon. Then I will. So this is 1. This would bump me up to 3 for an attack. Let's cut the power. 3. Okay. I'm going to use this ability to deal 2 damage to myself. Go down to 8. Give this to myself as a face down encounter card. So we just know that we're going to get a side scheme. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what the top card was going to be anyway. But the nice thing here is that we can now hopefully see that the universal... Oh, I don't have a card in here that's upside down. We now know that the universal weapon... Okay. So I put it, whatever card that is, I put it in the sleeve correctly. But yes, we hopefully will be able to see the universal weapon and just discard it. Okay, still 1. At the same time, I think it's okay to make a basic attack, discard this, exhaust, battlefield awareness, and we deal 3 damage to Ronan, put him down to 11. We will have... I think it's going to be realistic for us. Oh, top card is Piercing Maneuvers. Oh, that's unfortunate. That would have been nice to just deal 6 or deal 5 damage. I think it's going to be a good idea to put some damage here just to put him in a range where a small bird of prey can take out the commando, because we're going to be losing Huggin and Munnin here real quick with the attack that's coming our way. So we know that's going to be a big 3 boost icons. 1, 2, 3, 4. Soup Kitchen is good. That'll be a free. Okay, so we can go grab. Red Wing. So actually, exhaust Sam and Soup Kitchen, heal damage. Okay, so that's gonna be good. And then reduce the cost of the next ally or support you play by 2. Yeah, so we'll go grab Red Wing. Yeah, okay. We'll play this by ear, but I think we're probably in good condition here. Goes up to 4. He goes to attack me. He gets an additional boost card because I have the Power Stone right now. I will be defending with Huggin and Munnin. So this attacking's overkill. That's unfortunate. Alright, so attack for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I take 5 and lose the Power Stone. So go down to 3. Go away. Keep these over here because I'm going to need them. Then the Kree Commando attacks, and let's go down to 1. That may be really silly because we may just lose on the spot here, but the villain attacks me. I will exhaust and spend a resource. Up and away. So we will just cancel this effect, and then hopefully, oh yeah. So hinder 3. So this comes in with 4. We can exhaust a Milano to remove 3 threat from it. I don't think we're going to be doing that. All right, so that was one heck of a first turn. Oh. And also this. Yeah, so we already knew this. We knew this was coming. Yeah, that comes in with a 3 threat on it. Let's try to make some kind of effort here. All right, so we are going to go on the defensive, flip down. We're going to... Actually, wait, okay. Could I have? No, I could not have. Okay, play out Soup Kitchen. Exhaust both, recover 3, go up to 4. Oh, and reduce the cost of the next ally or support I play. So then we can ditch Falcon to go grab Red Wing, put him into play at a reduced cost. And we're going to be we already knew we were taking the turn off, but we're taking the turn off. We're just going to remove one threat from here. Oh boy. Okay, so put the damage here. And I think that's kind of irrelevant. Ready, back up. Oh, technically we would have known. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so one thing that I definitely like about Strength and Diversity is that aerial characters come with a lot of traits. They already have aerial plus another thing, and they're all different. So if we can use Strength and Diversity, we put out someone like Cannonball here. We have what will be on the other side will be Aerial and Avenger, but then we'll get Bird, we'll get X-Force, so that's 4 traits. So yeah, hopefully we can make good use out of this. But we had to survive this turn. So this is going to go up to 6. Then he's going to scheme for 3, 4. That pushes that to the next one, which is attach the Power Stone. If he's already got it, give him a face down boost card. Give him that. Then we flip this over. Oh, okay, that amplify icon doesn't matter in this particular context. So then it goes to 1, goes up by 1 more, goes to 2. So Power Stone, while the Power Stone is attached to Ronan, threat cannot be removed from here. We can't even get it right now anyway. If we could, we can make a big push against Ronan. Patrol is going to prevent us from going here anyway. Yeah, we've got a pretty complicated board state here, but let's see what we can do with our 2 encounter cards. One of which is the Lieutenant. So Guard and Stalwart. 7 health, and Power Siphon. Peril, okay, it doesn't matter. 1 revealed, choose, I think, wow, we're so tight on, okay, so I think we are abandoning our play out Cannonball Strength and Diversity plan. We can still do Strength and Diversity, it's just we may be doing Bird's Eye View and Strength and Diversity. Yeah, okay, we're going to just do this. It's going to be simpler. Okay, so that we survived that. Oh, I didn't even think about the fact that we can do this. Is that we need to recover. So yeah, let's do this. We're going to exhaust both of these. We're going to recover 3, go up to 7. This is kind of what we need to do anyway. Then the next support we play is cheaper. We will ditch this to get out Cannonball, who is a X-Force aerial character with when he would take any amount of consequential damage, reduce the amount by X, where X is the amount of aerial cards in your hand. Sorry, let's set up this. We'll set up that this is cheaper. Then we will flip over. So we get this. Then we will play out Cannonball. At that point, we have 2 there. Does Red Wing take advantage of that? Well, we're not going to do that till we do Strength and Diversity. We can go more. Physiology. Well, we learned our lesson there. Never try, kids. All right, so then we will have enough aerial in our hand so that Cannonball can thwart for 2 and take no consequential damage. Do we want to do that? Or would I rather put 2 damage here? Okay, so I can do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could do 6 damage to the lieutenant, 2 damage from cannonball. That would take him out. Then only 1 damage here. Oh, I could do 5 damage and take a threat off somewhere. Just not the main scheme. If each ally, it's the aerial trait, increase your limit by 1 after you play an aerial card, ready an ally you control. Is that the better way to go about it? No 3 threat from a scheme. Okay, well, that's what we're gonna pivot just a little bit here. We're gonna go boom, boom. For bird's eye view, we're going to remove 4 total from cannonade to get rid of that. Reveal. You stand accused. I'm not gonna get rid of that. So he didn't do anything yet. So then we will. Oh, of course. We do that in the other order. Okay, we do this to not take the consequential damage, then do bird's eye view to get rid of the other side scheme. These are both exhausted. Then we will burn, stand accused, return this to my hand. And we will choose to put 2 damage on the commando. Top card is Lieutenant. His activation is an attack. Gets 3 boost icons. Alright. So if we defend here, he's attacking for 2, 3, 6 with overkill. Oh, no, not with overkill. Okay. Yeah, so cannonball can just take all of it. Then we take 2, 3. Yeah, we go down to 4. I think we're fine with that. Alright, so let's ready back up. Oh, he's going to be attacking for quite a lot, too, because he's got that face-down card. Oh, this is right here. I'm just a mess today. Okay, so bump this up to 4 of 10. We need to address it soon. We will defend with cannonball. Ronan will attack me for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, and cannonball gets wiped. Just make sure that was not overkill. Just gets 3 boost icons. Okay, wouldn't put it past them. All right, and then we take 3 more, or we take 3, go down to 4, and our encounter cards are stand accused. What does my turn look like? So Red Wing. I'd like to Red Wing. Rather not be attacked. So I think we ditch this and this to use this to cancel the when revealed. We can still get Red Wing out once. Okay, then our other encounter card is Kree Physiology. Give Ronan a tough status card. If he's already got a tough status card, take a damage. And surge into Shadow of the Past. Alrighty. So let's get out the Serpent Solutions, which is a side scheme with 6 threat on it. After a Serpent Society minion is discarded from the top card of the encounter deck, deal that minion to the first player as a face-down encounter card. And then we've got Viper, who is a quick strike minion for 2, puts me down to 2. After Viper activates, discard the top 5 cards of the encounter deck. So we will shuffle this all up and discard the top 5 cards of the encounter deck. And hopefully we will not hit one of the Serpent Society guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, move to the player phase. I've done everything. I put that out. This is rough. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not even dramatic. Okay, 2. How can we best use that 2? I think it's probably going to be by attacking 4. Total of 4. Do I want to take the... I almost want to take Viper out at this point. Let's see. So this might have been the wrong scenario to try to pull this off. Like now that I'm looking at it. But okay, let's do this. Let's exhaust Battlefield Awareness. Let's put 4 damage here to get rid of the Kree Commando. Discard of this. Revealing Commando. Cool, another Commando. And at that point, we will then play out Red Wing. We will keep that where it's at. We will exhaust Red Wing to remove remove 3, or actually deal 3 damage here. And then does he only look... Search your deck and discard pile for a bird card. So we can go grab Red Wing from the discard pile. So what we're going to do is we're going to discard this to put out Aerial Recon, exhaust Aerial Recon, and deal a player a face down encounter card. Place 1 Recon counter here. 1 a player would be dealt an encounter card. Remove 1 Recon here instead. So we can do that. I'm going to flip down Alter Ego, and we will go find Red Wing at the top of the turn. Do I survive this turn? I don't think I do, now that I look at it. So at 2. This is gonna go up to 6. Yeah, well, that's the game. Now that I look at it, that's the game. Obviously, this is just a very extreme case. I do have a lot of faith in this deck, though. But obviously, yeah, this is like, okay, no matter what I did, I stay in hero form, I'm just gonna get swarmed. I go to Alter Ego, we're still in the same situation. So obviously I gave myself the hardest test, but I do think that just in general, I like this deck. It's just unfortunate that I couldn't give it a good showing. But yes, thank you for your time. Let me know what you think about the deck. What improvements would you make? Obviously, we've already done the deck tech, so you've already seen that. But what improvements would you make? And yeah, let me know in the comments. Thank you for your time. Have a great day. And remember, you are doing great. Keep it up.